Hello and welcome again to our channel this week. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a concept. The English dictionary speaks of a rhapsody, and it says a rhapsody is an expression of ecstatic enthusiasm. An expression of ecstatic enthusiasm. You say it, with such ecstasy, with such enthusiasm, and you hang on to it. And when I think of it, I say to myself, what comes to mind in the realm of mediation? It's an experience I've had often and continue to have, and I'm afraid to say, I wish I could say it doesn't happen. It doesn't always happen, but it seems as if it's a part of the mediation process. And what am I referring to? I'm referring to our acronyms and slogans. And sometimes we have the whole of the mediation process and concept buried under this, or should I say mountain, under this heap of slogans and acronyms that are often presented with enthusiasm, with ecstatic enthusiasm, that I thought that today what I would like to share with you is what I would call the rhapsody of slogans and acronyms in the mediation process. Often when I sit in a mediation, either as a mediator or as a party or as a party's representative in mediation, I am, maybe it might be disrespectful to say amused, but sometimes I'm a bit concerned with the frequency with which both parties and even mediators themselves and representatives keep throwing slogans and acronyms at us. One of the most common ones: mediation is party driven. Mediation is party driven. Every few minutes, everybody says it, but mediation is party driven. Understandably, what they're trying to say is that it is not about the lawyers who are in the room. It's not about legal arguments by counsel. They're trying to say that we want to hear the parties. But we don't have to keep saying it is party driven. It is party driven. Because sometimes you get it wrong. Many times, I found in my experience that in fact the lawyers in the room, properly coached, properly guided, there are exceptions, I'll concede that, but for the most part, properly guided, properly coached, they actually become an asset in the process because they are able to deliver. Lawyers are by their training, and when you come across the good lawyers, they are by their training taught to articulate properly. They have been taught how to identify and separate issues. And sometimes the clients need that to make sure that the mediation is effective. So you can't say, no, it's party driven, the parties must speak. You come across a party who is not so eloquent, who is not able to express themselves, but they become disadvantaged because you insist we have to work with them. No, please, let's not be driven by acronyms. Let's not be driven by a slogan. The thing is that in mediation, we don't want legal arguments. We don't want legal representations. We don't want, those great moments of court gallery, a play to the gallery. But the truth is, we don't have to put so much on the party-driven thing, because sometimes I wonder, could the use of the expression party-driven itself be a cloak for a measure of our own ignorance? Could it be a cloak for a measure of our own inadequacy? Could it be a measure of a cloak for our own inability to rally round all the parties in the room? I found myself in situations with lawyers, both senior and junior, and I have to say this, that for the most part, my experience with lawyers and other representatives in my mediations, both senior and junior, has been, for a greater part, more useful than otherwise. Talking of acronyms and slogans again, another one that comes to mind is it's give and take, or it's give and take. It's give and take. And it turns the mediation into just a matter of compromise. Just give something up and so it accepts something. But that is not it. I have personally challenged myself, especially in mediating in host community crisis in the days when I did a lot of that when I was in-house with a major IOC. Now, I find that when you just simply make it a matter of compromise, a matter of give and take, and you drum it, look, it's give and take, we have to compromise, you can't have everything you want. Who said? There is nothing in mediation that says you can't have everything you want. You can have everything you want so long as it is not in conflict with what the other person wants. It is the conflict with what the other person wants, or it is the conflict with what the other person thinks about how things should be done that makes it a dispute. And that's what you're resolving. So just simply sitting down there and saying it's give and take, it's give and take. There may be nothing to give, there may be nothing to take. So it is not always about give and take. And so what I find is that when you depend on those acronyms, on those slogans, they actually end up limiting you, and they're limiting your resourcefulness in seeking solutions, in generating options for settlement, because you are thinking always give and take. So you're constantly looking, what do I have to give? What do I have to take? I have nothing to give. I don't want anything. So give and take doesn't work. The other one I'd like to say and close it there is win-win. All win. Win and lose. Lose and win. Let me tell you something. If somebody wins, somebody loses. There is no win-win. In the days when we were timing races with handheld chronometers, people could have equal arrivals at the tape. But now in the days of electronic accuracy, where you have real chronometers, they'll tell you that no two persons press the tape at exactly the same time. If one person wins, the other person has to be the loser. So to talk of win-win, all win, and all those things, it really does not advance your cause. It's okay, let it be used. There's some limited use to it, and I stress limited use. What did I say? Limited use. Don't build the entire mediation on win-win. It's just an element of it. There's a point at which you come to where you say, well, look, at the end of the day, we want to ensure that everybody gets something. We want to ensure that everybody's interests, to a large extent, everybody's interests are met. Everybody's needs are fulfilled. And above all, there is a common objective, which is we want to see, can we protect, can we reassure reputation, can we preserve relationships, can we think of a way forward? These are things that I dare say ought to be more in the mind, more in the motive than in the speech. So that what you're looking at is, in mediation, your focus is forward. Your focus is where parties are going to go from there. Because to a large extent, when you focus on what has happened, the thing is right, wrong, good or bad. Whatever is in the past cannot be changed. Whatever is in the past cannot be altered. Whatever is in the past cannot be helped. What we have control over is what happens from this point forward. And the mediation process should help us to develop options, to make choices that give us the best way forward. And I will say this, we do not need to therefore indulge in the rhapsody of slogans or acronyms. We need rather to focus on the fundamental issues, the fundamental objectives of mediation, which is a way forward. Needs addressed, interests met. and relationships to a large extent, to the extent possible, preserved, and parties' reputation to a large extent also protected and assured. This is what mediation offers us. And I will say, without the rhapsody of acronyms or slogans, we will get there. See you next time.